Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys Secret Base figure preview video. Before we get started, I want to say a massive thank you to Ryan Kirkwood for going out in person to Secret Base to snap these beautiful high-res pictures. Seriously, show Ryan some love in the comments below because without him, this series literally would not be possible. Now, if you're looking to pre-order either Dek on his own or Dek with Thea, I've popped some links to Pop Collectibles in the description, along with the discount code Justin's Collection, for 5% off your order if you decide to buy from them. As always, do your own research, make sure you're comfortable before buying. If you do decide to go with them, when you pre-order Hot Toys from Pop, you can either pay the full amount right up front, or leave a deposit, fix up the balance when the figure comes out. If you're heading down to the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as brand new Predator content comes out. They left us hanging there for a while. They posted teaser on their Facebook page, then they just waited. I was worried that they wouldn't give us Dek and Thea. It turns out they were making us wait to try and build some hype or something. Either way, I'm glad they've been announced now. Although, even though I'm keen for both Dek and Thea, they're not perfect. Couple of things for us to discuss. Nothing figure breaking, I think, but just things to keep in the back of your mind when you're considering pre-ordering. If you get Dek on his own, still pretty much all of the same accessories, but no Thea on his back. And for me, most of the movie Dek was with Thea, so I need to have her, it just makes sense. But if you want to save some money, or you don't care about Thea and how she was constantly making jokes in the movie, she was what put you off in the first place, I understand if you decide to just get Dek on his own. Plenty of weapons, but one of the things I loved about Badlands is Predator kind of went back to basics. Yes, you saw all of these weapons in the film, but he didn't get to use most of them. I won't spoil the reason why. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. There won't be any major spoilers in this video. Two versions of the sword are included, one that's folded up like this, the other that's expanded with the painted blade. Lots of energy-based weapons this time round. We've got the bow and arrow, then we've got the sword. Also, his gauntlet blades, but they're separate pieces. They're not really blades, though. They're part of the story in the movie. They're part of the environment. Once again, no spoilers. The way they've done the switch-out mandibles is interesting. It looks okay here as a separate piece, and they use very specific angles in their promo pics to hide the seams, but the seams are a problem. We'll get to that. Switch out dreads. Really dynamic ones going in all crazy directions with the beads painted. There'll be PVC plastic so they won't degrade on you. This is a genius idea. I would love to see it for future Predators if the figures call for it, because Jungle Hunter, you don't need crazy dynamic dreads, nor could you really do that because of the design of him. All of the dreads are plugged in at the back of his head individually and around the sides of his head crest, so it wouldn't make sense for that specific pred. For certain ones, yes, and I'm sure they'll do it when they can. The bow and arrow looks like it's made of a relatively thin, brittle plastic for the red, what would be laser lines. That makes me nervous for durability. The ultimate way of doing this, in my opinion, is just make all of the red bits die-cast. Real metal wires, that way they won't bend, they won't crack, they won't break. They'll be a lot sturdier than plastic ones, and, you know, just something to think about, Hot Toys. If you were planning on going plastic, I would strongly urge you not to do that, to reconsider, because durability will be a problem if you decide to go that thin. Now, for Thea, you get some switch out Wayland Yutani symbol eyeballs. She's got moving eyes. Glad to see Hot Toys are doing switch out eyeballs now. And a second set of hands. But no legs. They could have given us legs. Like, you remove all of the guts and bits and pieces hanging out the bottom of Thea, then you can plug some legs in on a ball joint, then the shirt would hang over the seam, you wouldn't see it. Why did you not give us legs for Thea? They play an important role in the movie. Even the legs separately, you could pose them on the shelf separate to Thea if you wanted. But they chose, unfortunately, not to give us legs for Thea. Predator's base, we've seen this countless times. They could have gone pretty special with it because so much flora and fauna in Predator Badlands, the display base could have been a very intricate Easter egg diorama style base. They went with the sand footprint base minus the footprints. At least there's texture on it, it's well painted, a little bit too simplistic for me personally, and it's very small because Dek isn't the biggest pred out there, but he's still quite sizable, and he takes up most of the real estate on the base. Seamless knees and seamless elbows, but not medical silicone. I suppose there's too much skin texture, too much scaling, and the depth of the sculpt detail they wanted to put on the surface didn't lend itself to being feasible in medical silicone. So they went vinyl. I'm okay with that decision, but for posability, it is going to be very limiting. Vinyl is not the softest nor most durable material in the world. We've seen them use it before to varying degrees of success. I'm hoping this is some new kind of vinyl that is forgiving for poses. We will just have to wait and see. One of my main complaints with Dek is, see the black fabric bits on his outfit? Way too clean. He was rolling around in dirt and grime. He was getting cut up in the razor grass or whatever it was called. Some scuffs and some speckling and some schmutz and some dirt on the black fabric would have made him look less, and I hate to talk down on Mezco figures, but Mezco-esque. I'm a fan of Mezco. I've got some in my collection, but he looks like an oversized 1/12 scale figure. The outfit doesn't flatter him where I feel it should, and it lacks detail. Yes, there's grit and texture with the weave of the fabric, and it's tattered along the edges, but it's far too clean. It looks pristine, where all of the armor and the straps on his boot guard sandal things, they're all weathered, there's washes. It's out of place, is what I'm trying to say. Hey, look, at least it's a fixable problem. You could always add weathering. You can't really take it away. So grabbing a sponge, cutting it up, popping some brown paint on it, dabbing it around the high traffic areas for the black bits of the outfit, that is what I plan to do after the review is done, of course. But the weave is so dense, it looks like the fabric is out of scale with Dek. And Dek is quite sizable, as we've already discussed, so there's some odd choices going on with the material that Hot Toys went with for Dek's outfit and his seamless arms and legs. There's heaps of skin texture and the wrinkling and the scale work down the sides, but vinyl and unweathered fabric for the outfit, Hot Toys, this feels a little rushed to me. Yes, it's a prototype. Yes, they'll make changes, hopefully a lot of improvements by the time this eventually comes out. Just calling it how I see it, based on the prototype on display at Secret Base here. The Biomask, he doesn't wear it much, but I like that it's included. Now, something a little bit awkward, I guess. He's not wearing the Biomask in these pictures, but very soon after they put Dek on display, they installed the Biomask on him because of this. The switch out mechanism for the mandibles and the little mouth up front, you can see that huge seam for the sides, underneath his eyes, up front, seams everywhere. Very ugly. They need to fix the tolerances so when you pop that front base piece on, it doesn't look like a separate attachment. It needs to be way more seamless than this. I have faith that they can do that, but as it stands, this is unacceptable. Doesn't look good. Looks like the Predator has cut off another Predator's mouth and stuck it over his own. Not what you want from a modern 2025/2026 Hot Toys Predator, considering their previous releases looked a lot better than this. And you've got the seam underneath the chin area that extends around the back underneath his ears, so there's seams all over the place with Dek. Now, the hair switches out at the bit where it's tied up, so it will be slick over his head. Then you can have the crazy wild dreads if you so choose, or the ones that hang straight down his back. Thea. They did her a disservice with the way they posed her eyes, but yes, both of them have moving eyes, so you will be able to adjust them. This dead-eyed stare look sort of works for her, but she can look a lot better when you move the eyes around. So out of the two figures, or should I technically say 1.5, because Thea doesn't have any legs, I think Thea looks a little bit better than Dek. Likeness, skin texture, there's weathering on her face, there's weathering on her outfit. Yes, you can see those wrist pegs, but you'll be able to bring the black sleeves down to cover them. They've even weathered the black sleeves, for crying out loud. Why did we not get weathering on Dek? She can interact with Predator's weapons if you so choose, but she comes with the Weyland-Yutani rifle or submachine gun as well, so she's got her own weaponry. I'm quite taken aback at the fact that Thea is the standout for me. Yes, I liked her in the movie, not everyone did, but in figure format, I could have sworn Dek was going to steal the show, but the realism with the little strands of hair coming down and how messy that looks, the switch out eyeballs, she's got a pretty basic expression on her face, but I reckon when you move the eyes around, you will be able to work with that baked in stoic expression on her face, and she will come to life. I'm not sure if I'm going to display her on Dek's back or just on the display base or have him holding her, because if she is on his back, then you won't really be able to see her, right? She'll just be facing the other way. If you've got him holding her, then you can make full use of both Dek and Thea in the display without having to pose him weirdly so that you can just get a glimpse of Thea on his back. It's not the best way to display them both, but it is movie accurate. He does wear Thea like this, and the vines that he ties up around him, they look like they're PVC plastic. They'll be slightly flexible, so you'll be able to stretch them a little as you're bringing them over his bulky armor to have Thea strapped to his back like this. So at the end of the video, Dek needs a lot of work. I would love to see legs for Thea. I don't think that's going to happen, but at this stage, I'm more excited for Thea than I am for Dek, but only marginally so. I'm still keen for both of these, and Hot Toys, if you make the improvements you need to Dek, he could become one of your best Predators, which is saying something because Feral Pred in the background there, Samurai Predator, stellar releases. Now, if you're looking to pre-order just Dek or Dek and Thea, I've popped some links to Pop Collectibles in the description, along with the discount code Justin's Collection, for 5% off your order if you decide to buy from them. As always, do your own research, make sure you're comfortable before buying. If you're heading down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.